Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to make this evil eye wall hanging. For this project you will need a 2.5mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, something to cut your yarn with, a stitch marker, optional, and a 4-inch ring. You will need an optional of a wooden bead or any bead that you'd like, and 4 colours: black, white, light blue and dark blue. We are going to start with the black. We're going to make a magic ring or a magic circle, however you know it. Apologies for not being able to see the black very well, but on your project when you do it you will see it better. We are going to place 8 single crochets into the magic ring. I am going to place my stitch marker into the first stitch so it's easy to find when I come back round at the end of the round. When you've finished making your 8 single crochets, pull on that tail to secure the ring and close it. You can take your stitch marker out and make a slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. Then we are going to chain 1 and we're going to place 2 half double crochets in every stitch of the round for a total of 16 stitches. So again, I'm going to place my stitch marker into the first stitch, and continue around with 2 half double crochets in each stitch around for a total of 16 stitches. When you finished your round, you can take your stitch marker out and make a slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet. And now we're going to pull the tail out. We're going to cut it for a little tail to tie with the next colour. Pull it tight and insert your hook back into that stitch where the tail comes from. Now we're going to take the white and we're going to pull the yarn through, and we're going to make a simple double knot at the back just to hold the yarn together. And then I'm going to tie the 2 black tails together as well and cut them off. You can sew them in if you want, the ends, but because it's going to be against my wall, then I'm just going to cut them off. For round 3, we are going to chain 1 and place 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. Placing my marker back just because it's easier to find the stitch. And 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, so it's going to be an increase round again. It's 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet for a total of 24 stitches. When you've finished your round, take your stitch marker out and make a slip stitch. And on this round we're going to cut the yarn again, so pull your yarn through and secure it, pull on it a little bit and make yourself a little tail. Insert your hook back into the stitch to the left of your tail and take the light blue now. Pull your yarn through and tie the 2 ends. Then I'm going to cut the tail from the previous round because I don't need it anymore. And for round 4 we're going to chain 3. Well, the first chain is to secure the new colour, and then we're going to place a double crochet into the same stitch. And for every stitch around, we're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull the yarn through 2, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2, and then you have 3 loops on your hook, pull your yarn through all 3 loops and chain 1. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then you end up with 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 and make a chain. So it's 2 partially made double crochets, and then you end up with 3 loops on your hook, pull your yarn through all 3 loops and make a chain, and repeat this around for round 4. When you finished round 4, we're going to change colour again, so slip stitch into the first gap between the 2 double crochets, and we're going to cut the yarn off. And we're going to take the darker blue now, and we're going to pull the yarn through the same stitch, and we're going to make a double knot with the 2 tails, and then we can cut off the 2 tails from the previous round, the light blue and the white, unless you're keeping them for later to sew them in. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to place 2 half double crochets in each gap for a total of 48 half double crochets. So that's 1, and I'm going to place my stitch marker back, and 2, and continue this around, 2 half double crochets in each gap all the way around. When you've finished your round, take the stitch marker out and make a slip stitch. And for round 6, we're going to chain 1 and then place a single crochet into the same stitch, and chain 2, then skip a stitch and then a single crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and you're going to repeat this around, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 2. You will finish this round with a chain 2 on your hook, and then you're going to place a slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet. It will curl up a little bit, but it's going to straighten out once we attach it to the ring. Now we're going to attach it to the ring. We're going to chain onto it. Then we're going to place 3 single crochets in the chain gap. So that's 1. Place your stitch marker if you want. 2. And 3, and then in the next chain gap we're going to place 3 more single crochets, and you're going to repeat this around, 3 single crochets in each chain gap. When I attach any project onto a ring, it's easier for me to rest it on my stomach, so I've got something to hold it onto, and then it doesn't hurt my fingers as much. Also, your project should be slightly smaller than the ring, so it stretches out as you attach it to, and then it holds better. It doesn't have a belly. When you finish your round, you can take your stitch marker out and make a slip stitch in the first stitch of the round, and this is what it should look like with little gaps around. Cute. Then we're going to make the hanging loop. We're going to chain 10. And then we're going to slip stitch back down into the same stitch. Then I'm going to pull the yarn through and cut a tail for weaving in. And you can cut the little tails at the back or weave them in. Now's the time. We're going to weave in that tail of the hanging loop. So take your tapestry needle and we're simply going to take it back through the stitch to the back of the work, and then we're just going to weave it through. I'm weaving it at the top, just anywhere I can stick the needle through. Just going back twice, and that's it. You can cut the tail off. Now we're going to make the tassel. I'm using this little box for all my tassels. I'm wrapping them around 8 times, but you can do it as many times as you want. I just didn't want to have a big tassel. Then you want to cut the yarn off, and then cut 2 tails, one for tying at the top and one for tying in the middle. Well, middle at the top. And I'm going to use my crochet hook to take it round the back behind all the strands, and I'm going to pull it through and make a simple double knot at the top. And then on the other end, we're going to cut all the strands in the middle. Don't worry if they're not straight, you can always cut them afterwards after you attached it. We're going to take the other tail that we've cut off and we're going to tie it at the top to make a little bobble. Again with a simple double knot. So the tail of this that goes down, I'm keeping it in the tassel, and the one that goes towards the top I cut off. Then to find the middle, I usually hang it on the wall and then I see where it falls down the middle. So just hold it by the hanging loop against the wall and you can see the sort of line, imaginary line down the middle, and you can attach it to that stitch. So take your bead if you're choosing to use one, thread it through, and take one of the tails out and weave the one that's still got on your needle through one of the stitches, and then take it up onto behind the project so you can just tie it and you're not going to see it. And then again a double knot at the back and then cut the tails off If you're making your tassel from yarn that's not at the end of a ball, then your tassel should be straighter, but you can always straighten it out. I used the lowest setting on my hair straighteners between a sheet of parchment paper so I'm not burning the yarn. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.